Me and Kay, greatest coaches in the world. We had 3 official games against Norcam High in our first season and we lost all 3. The first game was a friendly and it's understandable because we were starting out and didn't know the boys all that well. We had more than 50 boys who wanted to be in the team, so it was difficult for me and Kay. To be honest though, we had the game under control. We were better than Norcam in terms of gameplay and individual players. We just didn't have a good keeper. Our goalkeeper, Sake, drank us that day. On the touchline, Kay was telling me about some kid who was a goalkeeper who came to training the previous week, who was a great goalkeeper. We both agreed that we needed to convince him to come back ASAP, but that was a plan for tomorrow. Right now, we were trailing Norcam. We managed to come back and make the game 4-4, but in the last moment of the game, Sake conceded a stupid goal. Final score, 5-4. But we consoled the boys and told them it's a draw. It wasn't Sake's fault that we lost. In truth, our defense was weak and Sake just carried the burden because he was the last man. Everybody liked Sake. He had enthusiasm and his energy was positive. He was always laughing and he loved soccer. He also attended every practice session. His will was just to get better and he did. In the end, he became a very good goalkeeper. The Sapir game was the easiest game ever. We dominated the game and led the game 3-0. How the game finished 3-3, I don't know. It still puzzles me. Literally, Sapir attacked 3 times and they scored 3 times. They scored the most stupid goals ever. True, we substituted a couple of players to give others game time and to inspect other players, but the changes were strategic. Sake is the reason we drew that game. He made 2 horrendous mistakes. I think he was just nervous. He fumbled and missed the ball. After the second error, Mr. Zumba lost his mind and went over my head to substitute Sake. Anything and anyone was better than Sake, but his replacement, Freedom, was worse than Sake. A couple of minutes later, Freedom made the biggest error of the game. His error was worse, the dumbest goal you'll ever see in your life. Everything was under control and the ball came to him. It wasn't a shot, just a misplaced pass from the other team. All he had to do was control the ball with his legs. He missed it. No first touch whatsoever. The ball went under his elevated foot. Just like that, the game finished 3-3. Me and Kay were devastated. Later that night, FC Barcelona got eliminated out of the Champions League semi-finals by a bus parking Chelsea at the Camp Nou. Messi missed a penalty that could have taken us to the finals. It was a bad day. We finished 3rd that season. The next year and the boys were now under 15s. By now we knew our team. This year we were stronger. We had a new goalkeeper and several new players who strengthened our defense and midfield. This was the year. I didn't think we'd lose. We were strong. First game was against Germiston and the game was evenly contested. The game was tactical and physical. 2-2, the game finished. It was a fair result. Mr. Pitzeng was now the new under-14 coach for the new grade 8s and they lost 5-0 to Germiston. The morale of the boys was low and some boys stopped coming to training. We won our next game, while the under-14s lost their second consecutive 5-0 game, this time at home. It was bad. The under-14s had exactly 13 players in their whole squad. I had no confidence. The morale was low and a couple of players in that 13 were considering quitting. I talked to Kay that it was better if we took over. He agreed. This was better for the school and the boys. Mr. Pitzeng just didn't have time to coach these boys. I talked to Mr. Pitzeng and he was relieved. He was happy to give me the team. He gave me all the boys' papers and information. He gave me the keys to their classroom and offered his support if we ever needed it. Now me and Kay were coaching 2 teams. Me and Kay agreed that the under-15s were now in free flow. They had a routine. The players knew each other. The chemistry was great. We had instilled a work ethic and they were motivated. They were okay. They didn't need much coaching. All they needed was supervision and I audited that. The big challenge now was with the new under-14 team. I had no confidence and from initial 13 from the previous match day, there were now 8 boys. Me and Kay saw the challenge and we knew it would be a difficult task. We started rebuilding the team. We recruited back the players who had showed an interest on breaks. The numbers in training started improving. Kay recruited Sake from the under-15 team. It was legal. Sake's birthday is in December, and he was now a better goalkeeper. He had experience. It was much needed for him too. The under-15 team had a new goalkeeper, and he, Sake, was destined to be on the bench. We called Sake to the under-14 team because we liked him. From 8 players, we now had 24 players. The morale was good. Me and Kay handled the 2 teams exceptionally well. The first win for the under-14s was so great. They were so happy. We were happy, and Mr. Pitseng was also elated. The under-15s were now a winning machine. That season with the under-15s, we finished the season undefeated. It wasn't enough to win the league though. We finished second to Germiston High. They won a game more while we drew. It was a fair result, but the writing was on the wall. This under-15 side was destined to dominate the district, and they did. Germiston, while they won the league, were defeated by Norkham. We beat Norkham 3-1 at our own school. We outmatched them everywhere. The following 2 seasons, we dominated the district in convincing fashion, finishing both seasons undefeated. The last loss was when they were under-14s. Me and Kay did great. Our new under-14 team was also coming on good. We won several games and drew 2-2 against Norkham. It was a good result considering we had administrative problems. Some players couldn't play. From a hopeless situation, we led the boys to a 3rd place finish. Both our teams, under-14s and under-15s, did great, and for our efforts, me and Kay got medals. Our silver trophy was shared with the whole school on morning assembly. It was a great year. Kay was a perfect partner, absolutely perfect. Truthfully, no one was better than Kay. He was a straight A student, and he had social and emotional intelligence. Kay sat on the first table on the first row with Senzile and other winners in the physics class. Trust me when I say, no one was better than Kay. Everybody knew that Kay was the best. I respected Kay. He was a winner, diligent, professional, motivated, knowledgeable, intelligent, focused, enthused, and totally committed to the cause. Of course, the greatest soccer team that Rhodesville Technical has ever seen was started by me and Kay. That's obvious. That is something that was already written by the stars. Thank you, Mr. Zumba, for giving me a chance. I'm eternally grateful.